But Wind and Rain, they don't rotate as quick as you'd like to, but we will be going into map number 2 very shortly. But as you said it before, as we're going to see what we're going to see now, we will be going into Inferno map number 2 as we throw it to our casters Dinko and Hawker again.
Thanks very much, Lethal. Yes, this is going to be a very, very interesting one to see if Wind and Rain can get it done in 2, or will Fierce answer back and bring us to Vertigo. A faster play again from Deos, just bringing that pace towards middle. He's already down towards the bottom mid, and already Fierce need to be ready for this.
Yeah, this is a sneaky position to be in. If Fierce makes some steps towards Banana, Deos can hear that. He hears them falling back and gets the opening. Very well timed from Deos. Here's the players falling back, realizes they're not ready to fight, but Ents gets caught. Deos doing damage as he finds a third, turning it around. Eventually they take him out of the round, but the damage is done.
The advantage is there for the CT side. Deos, what a play from him. 3 kills already collected. And it's Astro and Stanley trying to make it happen, trying to get the pistol win under the belt for Fierce. They can't quite manage that. Wind and Rain might get that opportunity to get off to that hot start that they've been looking for.
Well, Fierce continue to stick together. They also have this smoke from Astro, which is going to be deployed towards A long. And Wind and Rain are playing it extremely safe towards A-Long. Louty playing it really passive. He's got the Molotov that he could use here, but he can't get back to safety. Astro takes his head off, and they're going to rush towards B.
Emil shines, it's back. He has got that USP ready for them to run in towards him. There's the headshot trying to find the follow-up, but it's Stanley who'll bring it into a 1v1. 15 seconds left as Daddy starts to come back in through Banana. Bomb plant has to come through here from Stanley. Has to stick it in the corner. Daddy coming around the flashbang is there. It's going to be wide in the open, and Stanley wins it. It's Fierce with a pistol pickup, and even after the good start from Deos, it's not enough for Wind and Rain to find the win.
Yeah, that first kill was really well timed from Deos as he heard them running back, and then it was just all about the aim, turning around and just landing those shots so quickly. And yet still, as you said, it comes down to the clutch. Back on Dust 2, I'd say Wind and Rain were winning more of the clutch rounds. So to see Stanley win that 1v1 is a really great start for Fierce, although they've got to be careful they don't fall foul to this Force Spy, considering they only have the 1 rifle.
Oh, Nedstack comes in towards Emil Sean. He's finished off by the Mac 10 of Alex. So man advantage is there for Fierce, but Daddy, he's going to step out with a 5-7. And it's back into a 4v4. Banana control has been taken by the T side. And this one should be one in the bag for Fierce. We've seen that back and forth be established early on Dust 2, but on paper, this one should be in the bag for Fierce.
Deos has started to rotate towards B due to that aggression from Daddy over towards second mid. So they've got 3 players here stacked on the B side. They've got the flashbang as well, and Ents is going to open it up, turns around, gets 3! How the hell does he get 3 kills out of that situation? That is absolutely absurd. And Astro has got it all to do.
1v3 clutch needed for Astro here. 45 seconds to play with. Player in underpass. Will he be able to check this? He has an inkling that there could be a player there, but he has to run over the top. He can't commit to the angle just yet. And Danny might just get the angle. If he can get the timing correct, it might just be the kill. And there's the 5-7. The shot's coming in, and it will be the kill. Awkward and long-winded, but there it is. The back and forth established yet again, and the Deagle coming in huge.
The fact that Ents gets away with 3 headshots there, he was just wildly spamming towards the end. But he does what he needed to. And Wind and Rain steal away the round. We said that having 4 Mac 10s against the Force Spy can be a little dangerous from Fierce. They didn't invest massively into the weaponry. Ends up going against them in that second round. And this is a chance for Wind and Rain to get off to another good start. That was a big part of their success over on Dust 2. They look to do the same on Inferno.
Well, we'll see if Fierce can answer right back into this. They have got the weapons to do so, the Deagles and the CZs. Certainly have some potency behind them. Going to land on top of Ents and drop him to 53 HP. So early damage done on towards the CT side, but not a whole lot to write home about at this point. And Fierce will start their approach in through middle. 3 players currently sitting here on the A-bomb site for Wind and Rain. But this one should go their way, but Astro with a fast kill on the Deagle. Deos has been finished off, and here comes the push in towards the A bomb site. Fierce putting pressure in from long. Emil Shine looks to stand tall from the pit as he starts to spray away. It'll be one, make it two, looking for the lineup, and Emil Shine, he'll destroy them alongside Daddy. That's all on the Alex. The MAC-10 finished off as well. 2-1. Wind and Rin managed to pick it up.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad start from Fierce, just relying on those pistols to crack open one area of the map. And then they were just hoping that the flashbangs would be enough to close the distance onto the site. But that flash went really, really high into the sky, and Milshine was able to turn away from it, and then that spray down did significant damage, really stopped Fierce in their tracks. So good response from Wind and Rain, just making sure they dodge that flashbang, making sure that they can spray away on towards all of those players. That means that Fierce have only got Glocks to work with. This should be a pretty easy round for Wind and Rain.
Well, Ents already towards the bottom of Banana. Emil Shah has got the kill onto Stanley. Well, Lauti, oh my god, Astro's got 2 kills on the Glock. That is absolutely ridiculous. They've got the man advantage on the T side here as Fierce start to run straight in towards the B bomb site. Smoke could go off towards the CT cross, and this is looking so good for the chances of Fierce at this point. Out of nowhere, they might just be able to win the round.
Fierce wouldn't have had the smoke for CT unless Wind and Rain dropped it for them. That's the only way they got the smoke there. So the fact that Wind and Rain don't use their nades early kind of comes back to cost them. It allows the free plant from Fierce, and Wind and Rain are still getting into position. This is taking time.
Emil Shine off towards the coffins. Time is ticking. They've got Kits alive and 2 players, but Astro's find another. Good stuff from Astro. Fry will find the follow-up. It's all on Daddy. 1v3 clutch needed. Vastly different positions to check as well. It just is not going to happen for him here. Too little time to work with, and Fry will pick it up, and that is ridiculous. Astro manages to pull it off with a Glock.
Yeah, and I think on Dust 2, Astro was, I think, ended as the top fragger. He was definitely one of the best players for Fierce. He's been solid as ever. He's been Mr. Consistent throughout the regular season, always reliable at just doing a good job for his team, but we need to see some of the stars show up. As we were saying, either Eccles or Fry you would expect to be topping the board. It's not happening for them right now, but into this round, the money is quite interesting between both these teams. Again, both teams kind of tested, but it's definitely Fierce who are getting the edge of it now. They've got the AWP in the hands of Astro. Wind and Rain have got a couple of players on weaker weapons as well. So it feels like Wind and Rain are going to have to make something happen, and that's not the start they wanted. He was jumping with the shotgun there, by the way.
Well, he has got the advantage, so means that is something as Lauti will sit back with the MP9. Biding his time as they start to come around the corner. It will be Stanley with the headshot. Lauti finished off as Deos, Danny and Emil Shine into a 3v5. As Deos will end up going back over towards Runes. They'll leave 2 players on the A-bomb side itself, having 1 over towards CT here. Not looking good for the chances of Wind and Rain. This should be Fierce heading into the lead. And they do immediately, from an eye test, look a lot more comfortable on Inferno than they did on Dust 2. And they have executes in mind. They've got, obviously, B hits coming through. They're able to trade effectively. Something just looked off on Dust 2, but they look much better here in Inferno. And finally, they might just head into the lead here. Bar any heroics, and I don't think there will be any coming in from Dale, so you have to fall away. And there it is. CF Call coming in from Wind and Rain.
Yeah, Deos is already sneaking his way out of that. Ooh, actually lands that shot onto Fry somehow. Doesn't get the kill though. And it is just going to be the attempted save. Another shot lands, so Fierce need to make sure they don't go up with the bomb here. They've got to get Astro and Fry as far away as possible. But I don't think it's going to really lead to anything. And this is a chance for us to talk about why we think this map is so heavily favored for Fierce. Firstly, we haven't seen Wind and Rain play Inferno a single time back in the regular season. So that's not a great start in terms of the record for Wind and Rain. But then secondly, Fierce have played this map plenty in the regular season. They beat Vexed, they beat Endpoint, they beat Reflex on this map. That Endpoint game obviously went to a ridiculous amount of overtimes and was close, but it was still a solid win for Fierce. And then recently, they've been playing in some of the ESEA leagues, and they've oftentimes been picking this map. So definitely feels like they are comfortable on this one, but Emilshine is not wasting any time in this round. Maybe a bit too aggressive, jumping out through the apartments.
Well, Fierce. Oh. Damage done on the Deos. Near damage coming through in reply though, and so low here the Wind and Rain side. They've taken quite a bit of damage done early, so it's not going to be too good for their chances moving forward. But Fierce, this is the biggest problem yet. Daddy inside of the pity will get one, but Echo's able to dispatch with him, and the advantage is still there for the T side. Ball will get planted in the corner, and it should be an easy win for them yet again. So 4-2. Fierce Esports looking a lot better here in Inferno, leaving Wind Rain a little bit unsure of themselves at this point. You know, the real thing on Dust 2 was the individuals could always have the impact. But if you're getting locked out by solid executes and great team play, it's hard to make the space as an individual to have the impact you did on Dust 2.
Yeah, and we saw in this round, the two players with the rifles tried to make something happen. Ended up costing them. Deos doesn't spot that man towards mid, so he is going to sneak away. Ents will not be lucky enough to do the same, though. Stanley finds him, but there's not much being saved here by the Wind and Rain players. Deos might just drop the scout over to a teammate if they really want to use it. They don't have to, though. They could upgrade those weapons. And again, talking about Fierce on this map, some of their wins on Inferno have been pretty impressive. They beat Nordavind, they beat SJ on this map over in ESEA, a couple of good wins against pretty solid European sides. And when you look at the stats on HLTV, they've actually won the majority of their rounds on that T side. So it's definitely good for Fierce that they have got off to a pretty good start here on their T side of Inferno. And we are starting to see Inferno as a map where it's almost team dependent as to whether you win more on the T or the CT side. It generally feels fairly even, but for Fierce, clearly they're comfortable on this T side.
So just taking their time. I'm looking forward to sort of seeing if Fierce can keep this level of performance up, right? How awesome would it be if we had okay, a big performance coming in from Wind and Rain on the first map, but right back into it, Fierce show the mental fortitude and grab themselves a massive one-sided pickup on Inferno. That might just be enough to damage the mentality of Wind and Rain so much moving into that third, because Ezio was kind of touching it on the desk, saying the confidence is just there. Well, Emilshine certainly showing he can line them up. He's got two, nearly the third player connected there as well. Unfortunately for him, he will not be able to do so, but it's still the man advantage for Wind and Rain.
Fierce used all 5 smokes on this attempted execute. They put 3 smokes up towards short to try and move forwards, to try and get that bomb down. But because Emilshine slowed them so much there, they've had to cancel their aggression because they weren't sure what they were running into. So that leaves Fierce with only a few flashbangs left, and at this point, they're really relying on those individuals to step up for them. Then again, Eccles and Fry were alive until this second, where Eccles has been removed from the round.
Well, Fierce are going to pull their players back over towards Banana. This still is going to be a very, very tough challenge. You have 2 players on both bomb sites for Wind and Rain. And, well, Fierce will try their best to try and get the kills here on towards B, but it's not going to be easy for them. They have a player on the coffins on the CT side with that Molotov coming in. Well, all right then. Ends is going to peek. Flanks there from Deos. And it's the kill coming in onto Fry. Astro alone in the world. A 1v3 clutch with 19 seconds to play with. It's not looking good for his chances, but he'll try. The headshot's there on the Deos. 12 seconds. Bombs on the floor. Flashbang will go over towards CT. Has to go for this quickly. As soon as he gets onto the bomb site, he would have to commit to the plant. And Lauty was in the back lines. It was never going to happen. Another pickup coming in from Wind and Rain.
And we're getting to see Emilshine get involved in the action, which is exactly what we need to see from Wind and Rain. We were hearing over on the desk about how it should have to be Emilshine and Deos stepping up for Wind and Rain. They're both playing on the same site, which could be something to look into for the Fierce guys. Deos trying to get aggressive down mid. Astro is on the other side with the AWP, so if Deos were to peek further, he could be in trouble. Flashbang comes towards him, forcing the AWP off the angle, and in the meantime, Fierce have successfully taken control of apartments. Wind and Rain just used 2 smokes towards mid as well, so maybe a bit of miscommunication coming through, wasting one of those smokes on the same spot. And again, Wind and Rain sticking with the same setup. So we were saying that Emilshine and Deos are the 2 standout players for this team. With both of those players playing on the A side of the map, it might make sense for Fierce to try to see if they can exploit the B side of things.
Emilshine playing passively back on the CT side. We've seen that in the last round, and we've seen it have quite a bit of success on the lineup. We'll see if it can happen again. It is going to be a push from Fry in towards B, while the rest of the push is coming in towards the A-bomb side. And Daddy's going to get 2 from the pit. Luckily, Fry and Alex are there to get the frags between them. And the advantage is on the CT side, but not for long as Alex will pull it back. Emilshine, though, the equalizer yet again. And it will be all on Astro. 1v2. And he's been spotted. The damage is done, but he holds. And he wants this kill on towards Emilshine, who's very patient in not peeking that angle. Flash comes in instead, and the pickup comes through from Emilshine. Again, continuing the great individual performance from Dust 2.
Yeah, and again, Fierce tried to run one of their set plays. They tried to see if they could sell that fake towards B. I feel like the timing may have been slightly off, though, in terms of the B fake and the A attack almost came at the exact same time. So it's not like Wind and Rain had time to react to that. I think Fierce were just trying to cause panic across the board on the Wind and Rain side, but as soon as the CTs win some of those fights, they can feel pretty comfortable. And again, Astro's AWP not really able to get involved at the end of the rounds there. He's left in another clutch with the AWP. That's something that you always have to keep an eye on. Those AWPs on the T side of Inferno can sometimes struggle to get involved in the early action. Seems like that was a struggle there for Astro in that round. And this time he's just gone for the AK, with Fierce being slightly limited by the money. I'm sure they won't be too fussed. It's Fry on the MAC-10 though. The Des was saying he needs to be that standout player.
Mr. Consistent, I think was the term Yumi was using, but we'll see whether he can do so. As the rest of Fierce, all 5 of them are inside of Banana at this point. It has to be a big haul from Wind and Rain. They need at least a couple of kills here. As the push starts giving the Molotovs there. The kill from Loudy is there, but Alex is fine too. Great kills coming through from Fierce. That Molotov really does it all. And while Eccles is in the corner, it's not looking great for the chances here of Wind and Rain coming back into this retake. They'll have to check Eccles. He cannot afford to get a kill here if you're Wind and Rain.
Yeah, and Eccles realizes he can just sit in this corner, just wait for the aggression, draw the attention his way, and now that he's confident they've won the round, he can go hunting. And this is the concern I was having for Wind and Rain, was if you've got Emilshine and Deos playing on the A side of the map, do you have the firepower to hold the B site? In this round, they clearly didn't. Louty was only able to get the 1 kill, Ents unable to assist him, and then it's not like those B retakes are easy. Emilshine and Deos may be skilled players, but they're not going to be winning 3v4 retakes on the B side of the map. You almost have to save from that position, and that leaves Wind and Rain with the 3 rifles carried over. I wouldn't mind seeing Wind and Rain switch up their B hold slightly in this round. Maybe go for that 3-man banana stack and try to take that away from your opponents, because that looked a little too easy for Fierce. They didn't really look like they were tested in that one.
And Banana is being bombarded with grenades at the moment. Well, Daddy has taken away Alex. It will be the man advantage on that CT side as Stanley boosted up on top, has to fall away. Well, they're still challenging here. Fierce do not want to let go of any portion of Banana. They want to continue the fight, and there goes the Molotov. There's 3 players here on the CT side. Perhaps it's best just to go and try and test the waters towards the A-bomb site.
And there's 2 rifles here on the A site, though. Daddy and Emil Shine side by side. Brothers in arms looking to hold on towards A. Daddy's already looked good from pit. He'll try to see if he can deliver again from this position. Smoke goes down, but his teammate is dealt with, and Daddy is going to burn alive. That is not going to plan for Wind and Rain. Their A-hole completely collapses. And again, Fierce just one step ahead of their opponents.
It'll be 6-4 coming in, and this is much, much better from Fierce. You know, the tactical element is starting to come through. We've seen a couple of failed attempts at strategy, but it's good to see they haven't shied away from it. They keep going with that element, and it is something that can carry them over the line against this Wind and Rain side. And whilst they've had a couple of errors, they've started to look very solid indeed, even on an individual level, as Astro will take away Louty, and Ents on his own into a 1 versus 3. And he had some strong words to say in his opening interview. Says his team were much, much better. It's not even close on an individual level.
He's saying that. I'm not sure I would say much, much better. I feel like these teams are fairly similar for me in terms of skill. I'd maybe even think about edging it to Fierce. But then again, on Dust 2, clearly Wind and Rain had those individuals show up. And you have to be confident, obviously. You like to see that he's just saying, you know what, we're just going to win. We don't care that you're undefeated. And now that they've taken a map off of Fierce, I'm sure they will be liking their chances a little bit more. Deos has nestled into that corner towards mid, but it's mainly pistols for Wind and Rain, and that means that it should be a comfortable round win, unless Deos can be a thorn in the backside.
You can see they think this is a possibility at least, but he will take the kill. No trade yet, no one going for it. And Alex is just going to let multiple players run over the top of him. He gets the timing right. He could find himself quite a few kills here. The first is there, the second in as well. And Daddy is the last player alive, coming in from top mid, spots the player and rattles shots. That gives away his position. And Alex has turned around and find that one as well. Well played from Alex. Does beat his teammate a little bit, but walks away with 3 kills. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, all works out in the end for Fierce. Looking good for them right now on Inferno. As we were saying, we weren't sure what to expect from Wind and Rain. They were put into a pretty tough position in this veto because we haven't seen Wind and Rain play either Nuke or Inferno, 2 of the best maps for Fierce. And okay, Deos gets that gap in the smoke to go his way, takes the fight towards Astro, gives his team the early man advantage. And again, this is what we like to see from Wind and Rain, taking the fight to their opponents.
Well, and Saz just dropped Fry pretty easily there. So Wind and Rain, 2-man advantage to work with at this point. And they've gone for some aggression towards the apartments as well. So they're going to get so much info off of this. They know they have to go over towards Banana. Where Stanley's starting to take the fight. He will take some damage on board or give some back. Luckily, the aggression for the CT side works for them as Alex will be finished off. It's Eccles and Stanley into a 2 versus 5. Smoke goes off towards CT. Nade follows it up and, well, it's not looking too great here for Fierce. This should be one on the pie for Wind and Rain, and it's great to see this sort of back and forth be established yet again. You know, keeping it competitive, finding round wins, and making sure that this this game is not going to be a whitewash. And there we go, a clean round coming in for Wind and Rain.
Yeah, that was one of those rounds where it was a nice play at the start for Wind and Rain, with Deos using the gap in the smoke to give his team the man advantage. And then once Fierce went a man down, it felt like some of those individuals just tried to see if they could win fights. And they took fights that maybe weren't favored for them. That push down Banana was always going to be better for the CT, just holding with the AUG. He's always going to be happy to take that fight. Good flashbang, but Alex unable to convert the kill on towards Deos, who gets away safely. Again, Wind and Rain sticking with the same setup, not fighting too heavily for banana control. They're fairly happy holding it back from the bomb sites. And once again, I'm a little worried about how this B hold is going to hold up if Fierce tried to test it, especially with not too much information gathered early for Wind and Rain.
Flashes go in towards middle. I'll pull Fierce away as they go back over towards the banana position. Got one player inside of CT spawn, one on the spot. Third rotating in as well. And let's give it the spray coming through as Stanley be dropped to 30 HP. The Mac-10 runs over the top and they will start to spam in. Awkward and long-winded, but it's still the kill that comes through from Stanley. Deos in behind the smoke, has an op to work with, goes for the spam through the smoke, cannot land it though, and he'll be finished off by Astro. So Fierce, they've come out on top, but Ents walks right through the smoke. 2 kills come in, but it's all in Immelshine. The 1v3 is needed. One player in towards Banana. Then he has to look for it on the left. The smoke will go down as well. We'll look for that first one. The other is on the right. Defuse coming through though. He's just got to stick this. Spray coming through. Eccles wins it. And it'll be it 5. Already confirming themselves at least around lead moving into that second half, but Fierce would want more.
Yeah, you could see Fierce there again, trying to see if they could continue to exploit that B site. This time, though, Wind and Rain seemed like they were thinking one step ahead of their opponents because they had Deos ready to rotate over with the AWP. Sadly, though, Fierce's execute was just too hot for them to handle. And, okay, Deos pushing down mid again. We've seen this a couple of times. Surely Fierce are ready for it this time. Maybe not. They're not clearing this.
Oh, well, at this point, Fierce will just be happy having that control.
Yes.
And, well, it's not going to be there for much longer as Deos just walking down towards middle. Gets caught by Alex, so at least there is a 1-for-1 trade. But a pretty ballsy play, I have to say, from Deos, just walking right down middle.
Yeah, like he's done that in 3 rounds now, and still Fierce weren't ready for it somehow. Oh man, the crouch peek from Emilshine works to perfection. Eccles was not ready for that angle whatsoever. So it's actually the man advantage for Wind and Rain, despite having the weaker weaponry.
Spam coming right through the smoke. It's going to be some damage done. Still a good chance here for Wind and Rain to pick this up. As Fierce start to come on in. The advantage is with the CT side, but Stanley close by does get the trade, so it's back into an equilibrium as Ents will extend upon the smoke. Still gets the kill, but it's a 2v2. Alex will get the bomb planted. Fierce, they have the site. No kit available on that CT side, but they have got a smoke and a flashbang alongside 2 M4s, and they've got Kevlar. That's the important part. One player high HP, the other low. Quite similar on both sides. The smoke will go in towards CT. Flash will follow it up as well. They're going to go for the boost, and this might just be enough to stop this from happening. The defuse might just crumble as Alex looks over the top, but Emilshine was expecting it, and he's got the kill. The defuse starts to come through. Flashbang is there, and Stanley, he needs to win this for the side. Sprays away. Emilshine gets him, and Wind and Rain, they will get 6 on the board. Back and forth we go, and Emilshine is the man to thank for that win if you're Wind and Rain.
It's another round where he has to show up, even though it's not his side of the map that's being tested. Emilshine successful on the B side retake. We see that Fierce are just consistently trying to take over the B side of the map, and generally they get the bomb down pretty happily, in pretty good positions as well, but this time there is a switch up from Wind and Rain. They are going to start fighting for Banana. They've put Emilshine over on this side of the map as well, so he switched up his position to try and hold B.
Well, and it's Fry taking a headshot on towards Emilshine. The follow-up to him is Fry as well, but Lauti gets 3. Great hold so far on Banana, but Astro comes right back in. And it's on to Deos and Daddies to try and hold on, to try and get back into this bomb site if Wind and Rim want to gather 7. Fry, what a start from him in towards Banana. A kill comes in from Deos on his own. It's all on Eccles. A 1v2 clutch to try and give themselves 9 moving forward. If not, it is still the half win, but it's only by 1 round. They love the buffer. And well, Eccles is certainly a man that can pull this off. Headshot comes in, lining up the second, and it'll be 9-6 at the half. Good stuff from Eccles.
Yeah, and he'd been a little bit quiet throughout the first half, but wins a couple of clutches there at the end, continues to have impact for his team, and that was a really well-played 1v2. Just swings onto the angle, uses his aim to his advantage, uses the fact that they didn't know exactly where he was to make sure that he can catch them out. And all in all, I think Fierce will be fairly happy with that first half. Wow, did Emilshine get stabbed in the back? Oh man, he's down to 39 health. This is live.
That's an unfortunate start for Emilshine, but we'll see if it hinders him any. starting to take a fight. Luckily, doesn't take any damage on board.
Probably the one player you would not want to be stabbed in the back as well. Top fragging on Inferno for his team again. Full Kevlar for Wind and Rain, but they've snuck onto B. How the hell are they here? Deos is going to move forwards. This kill could be crucial, but he is going to fall. Wind and Rain start to bring that bomb over to the B side of the map, and Lauti is pushed all the way into Ruins. He could be the linchpin here. There's still no rotate from Fierce. They don't think it's B.
Well,
they do now.
Yeah, exactly. Lauti is taking the headshot on towards Eccles. And it's going to be the bomb plant coming right through as Wind and Rain. They've got the bomb site. They've got time to get post plants as well. Fry is the first man there. He has got backup by Stanley, who's arrived to the party. And the last two remaining players, Astro and Alex, have started to congregate over towards CT as well. Lauti looks to try and follow up on his early kill, but it's not going to come through. It's Stanley, in fact, who gets that headshot. And on the retake attempt really is coming through from Fierce. They've got the advantage. They want to get on towards the bomb site. Stanley has a kit. The smoke goes on towards the bomb as well. Spamming right through. It's Astro taking away Emerald Shine. Defuse coming through. They pulled it off here. Stanley gets the defuse through. And it will be the win anyway coming through as Fry picks up all the kills. And that is a much needed win there from Fierce with a pistol pickup.
That was such a weird pistol round. Like, Wind and Rain just snuck up on towards B, all the way into Ruins. They got the kill they needed. They got control of the site. I don't think they realized that they could get on towards B so easily. And yet, it's Fierce who come out on top with those USPs. Well, Wind and Rain looking to do damage with those pistols into this follow-up round. They've gone for a half investment into this one, trying to keep Fierce honest into round 17. A quick trade occurs on towards Banana. Wind and Rain looking for more, but Fierce don't want to give them any more opportunities. It's a nice rug.
Here's Alex.
I think he was just looking to see if he could spot any feet at the bottom
Yeah,
of the smoke.
I don't think he was looking
Probably
at the
not
rug.
looking at the rug.
I don't think that would, I don't think that would go through his head, Alex. It's only you. Well, we 4 players towards top Banana as they start to come on in for the T side, or 3 players. One of them is actually over towards A, and that's Ents. He's been dropped. Astro able to pick up one as well, and well, Emerald Shine, of course, he'll find at least 1 kill. Will it be any more? Of course it will. Emerald Shine finds another, and the bomb plant comes through. A real chance to win this off the back of those 2 kills from Emerald Shine. Both players on the CT side coming back in from Banana, and Emerald Shine's got himself an AUG.
And the CTs only have MP9s. At long range, Emil Shine is massively favored in these fights.
Well, Danny could also find himself a kill on the Eagle, or just try and delay, play time, cause problems for them, and in fact, that's exactly what he's doing. He gets 1 kill into a 1v1. Emil Shine, he's been spotted, the head is spotted, and Alex finds it. Defuse coming through, and that's just so unfortunate for Emil Shine. He had the right idea just to try and get close, but it just doesn't work out. He gets his head spotted, and because of the awkward position he's in, he can't react quite quick enough.
Yeah, he didn't really have a good angle for the bomb to utilize that AUG, so decides to just try and see if he can sneak up close. You can see the idea behind the play. If the timing was slightly better, that absolutely could have worked. But Alex manages to spot it out. Then again, with the bomb plant, Wind and Rain can go for a proper full buy into this round, whereas Fierce's money continues to be put into question, and that's some nice early damage. Fry down to 27 points of health. Eccles just gets away, but Fry is not going to be able to. He has met his early fate. Eccles also caught from behind, and again, it's the quick B take.
Well, they're onto the bomb site already here on the T side. Looking for a follow-up. It's Deos, take it away Astro. Stanley and Alex, they're going to have to fall away in Wind and Rain. They're building up momentum at this point. Even after losing a run, they still come right back into the next one, and they're able to pick it up. So this is a scary sign moving forward for Fierce that Wind and Rain are competing on their map pick. The one we said should be a blowout for Fierce as well.
Absolutely unrelenting aggression there from Wind and Rain, taking over Banana, but they weren't happy with just the Banana control. They took even further fights all the way in towards CT spawn. Daddy gets a little bit of information towards Pit. Wind and Rain not content with the round win. They want more kills on the board. Trying to take away these guns, but I think Daddy has realized that it's not worth the risk without much assistance. It's Wind and Rain's round, and it's Wind and Rain's chance to build something on this T side. And back on the desk, Yumi was pointing out that normally Fierce's B hold is quite strong because they have players like Eccles and Fry both on that side of the map. Both those players haven't been hitting the heights we're used to, so that B hold could start to be put into question a little bit.
Well, Molotov goes in behind the smoke. Two players waiting in behind that on the CT side. And when I say in behind it, they're just going to run right through it. And Eccles is going to be dropped. Deos will pick out Fry. And that's the B bomb site under a hell of a lot of pressure. It's Astro on his own to try and hold off this offense of Wind and Rain. Well, probably expecting the rotation here, Wind and Rain. And in fact, it has started to come through as well. Stanley's over there towards CT. And well, Wind and Rain, they know this is probably what's happening. So they're going to go back over towards A.
Yeah, I like the call from Wind and Rain to slow things down after spotting the aggression. You know there's probably at least one more player towards B ready to stop you, and once the smoke goes in, you can just call that one off. Plenty of time left, plenty of nades left, weapon advantage, man advantage. Basically everything favors Wind and Rain here. The only man ready to stop them on the A site is Alex with that MP9, and he's got his back turned. That's round over. Caught with his pants down, I think is the phrase.
Yeah, it's not a nice place to be caught. And well, Astro and Stanley will just try and carry over everything they possibly can. And Astro's going to hide away. At this point, it's looking so good for Wind and Rain at this point. They've actually started to build up a lot of momentum on this T side. And that's what looked so strong for them earlier on Dust 2 as well. They make good mid-run calling as well, which is quite... For a team that said they've had zero practice, to have that sort of mid-run calling ability is pretty good.
Yeah, we're not even 100% sure how the calling is going for Wind and Rain. Like, we're not sure.
A team effort kind of thing.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking, which makes it more impressive to me. It's either that or you have one guy who makes all the calls and you have to listen to him, even if you maybe don't agree with it. But I think they seem to just be making the calls as a team. And again, it works out for them in that round. Eccles and Fry were set up fairly well there at the start, though. They would have been in a position where they thought they might be able to get some kills on the board. Doesn't really happen for them. Again, the real star players maybe not showing up as we would expect for Fierce, and that's something that they will be hoping is going to change. In this one, it's going to be just a couple of saved guns for Fierce. Stanley's got his M4 over towards A, while on the B side of the map, it's Astro who was able to save the MP9. Wind and Rain seem aware of the fact they're against a weaker buy. They're taking it slow. Clearing the apartments is a slight risk here. You never know when there's a Zeus around the corner. But Wind and Rain will be fine to take that control.
Just a minute left on the clock. Deos spots the head below the balcony. There's another player there on default as well, so you might think twice about just running out of the balcony like that. 50 seconds. At this point, Deos wants to pick up this kill. Looks over the top, and the AK-47 might just be the weapon to do so. Looks down the barrel. There's the kill on towards Alex. Man advantage is there, followed up by Emil Shine. And this is looking great for Wind and Rain. The A-bomb site is completely gone. And that's as easy as it gets, really, for Wind and Rain. Bomb plant in, and this should be 11-9. Or will be, Alex. I'm confident in saying it will be.
Oh, yeah? I don't blame you. They don't have a kit. They're not anywhere near the site. Not really much to be done for Fierce at this point. Sadly, Stanley had the rifle on the A side, but wasn't able to put it to use because he had his back turned to Emil Shine. I am somewhat surprised as well. It feels like Fierce are quite often stacking 3 players towards B for quite a long time in these rounds. We've had Astro, Eccles, and Fry on that B side of the map quite often. You'd think that leaves A fairly vulnerable, but Right now, they're not really successfully holding on to Banana either, so it's kind of a tricky situation for Fierce.
Well, we have got a technical pause coming in. Hopefully that is resolved pretty quickly as we get back into it. And taking a look at this match overall, though, coming into this match, I think everyone kind of predicted Fierce to walk away with this. I think most people would pitch Fierce as the favorites to win the entire tournament, right? So this has definitely been a bit of a surprise for many, including myself, that this has been what's happening. Yes, Fierce is still winning on Inferno here, but it feels like that lead might be slowly slipping away from them.
It's not looked as good as you might expect for them on their pick of Inferno. And if we go to a third map, Vertigo was the map that was so close between these two teams back in the regular season. Yeah. Nothing is guaranteed there.
Well, here it goes. Fast plays up towards middle from Wind and Rain. They just want to bring the fight in towards the A-bomb site. Emil Shine, the front man, trying to charge his way towards Archways. Grenades go in towards Pit. Alex under a lot of pressure. He's just waiting for that Molotov to come in. It's actually a smoke that he receives in the face. Quite the opposite, in fact, but there's a gap to play with first Astro on the side of that smoke. Hence, has crossed over and is holding towards long. Well, Emil Shine plays contact towards Archway, but it's Eccles who will find the first kill. Luckily, enters there for the trade as he will get it on towards Astro. And it's a 4v4. This time, Fierce looked like they might just be able to pull it off. It was a fast play from Wind and Rain, but it's kind of fallen apart.
Stanley dunks a nade on his own face. Yeah, not exactly what he wanted, but the crossfire isn't there anymore. Stanley has got to hold, but he's alone. He only gets the one kill. And out of nowhere, Wind and Rain find all the frags necessary, unless Fry can turn this one around. MP9 creeping forwards. He knows there's a man behind the box. The second player shows himself, but Daddy takes advantage of the information. Wind and Rain up to double digits, and they just turned that round on its head with kill after kill on towards those A entries. It was looking so good for Fierce with those crossfires established, but Stanley was never able to get the trade kills needed.
We kind of see that really fast play towards top middle come through, and then they just kind of all stopped. And after that, it was looking as though Wind and Rain would just end up getting picked apart, but they managed to pull the kills through. And so, 11-10 it is, most likely going to be 11-11. And at that point, Fierce will make the wish that they get this map under their belt, because this is starting to look pretty damn scary if you are the Fierce side.
Only pistols for Fierce in this one, as we were saying. Not the greatest of chances for them. In general, you would assume that a team that's playing like Wind and Rain might struggle in these rounds against the pistols, because they just kind of play, not individually, but they just play on whatever they're feeling a lot of the time. But we haven't really seen Wind and Rain lose too many of these rounds. They've looked pretty good against the low buys. It looks like they've made the right decision here. B site definitely looking easier to take right now.
Well, Fry tosses a smoke in towards the fountain. Yeah, got a kill from Ents coming through. Eccles with the headshot. That is quite disgusting going in on the CZ, but bomb plant is coming through. Looking good for Wind and Rain as long as they can hold off this retake attempt of the pistol starting to come on through themselves. Smoke's up. Doesn't really matter here. Wind and Rain just unloading bullet after bullet right through the smoke. Not a kill to be seen just yet, though, and that bombardment of bullets through the smoke might just be enough to scare Fierce away. And there it is. It will be 11-11, Alex. Even here on Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Wind and Rain didn't get to take too many shots as they entered the B sites. They thought, you know what, I want to at least shoot my gun a little bit. They spammed through those smokes. This could be a gun denied at the end here. Astro running it down. The bomb does do enough. So one player lost at the end there for Wind and Rain. But all in all, they will be pretty happy with how this is going for them on their T side. We were pointing out in the first half how Fierce have found more success on their T side of Inferno. Heading into the second half, heading into their CT hold, it's not been looking anywhere near as good for them, and we need to see Fierce step up soon. Otherwise, they run the risk of being 2-0'd. That could absolutely be the case right now. with how this game is going, it feels like Wind and Rain are almost in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I definitely feel so. As soon as they got onto the T side, right, that's when things started to change. That's when things started to look as though they're the team that's going to take this one off the line, because they have this sort of momentum that you can't break. And it's definitely not a good sign for Fierce. We'll see if they are the team to try and find a way to break this momentum from Wind and Rain as they come in towards number 23 with an AWP in the hands of Astro. Every other player with a weapon of their choice alongside the utility available to them. Wind and Rain, it's not the hyper-aggressive playstyle we've seen in the previous rounds. Instead, a little bit more methodical, using the utility, battling towards Banana, and we've seen they can do that playstyle as well.
Oh, good nade on towards both Eccles and Fry. They take the exact same damage from it because they were both up on this boost, and the flashbang is good. Deos almost pre-firing that position. Great entry.
That is so quick from Deos, and
wow,
another one as well. There's nothing you can do against this. What is it with the French and Orpers, man?
Jeez, he's just won them the round.
It's over.
Like what?
It is completely over at this point. Fierce are just getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, and again, we go back to it. Yumi on the desk was saying he's confident in Fierce's B hold because Fry is normally really good, Eccles is normally really good. Not good enough, apparently, because Deos just destroys them.
Deos the Destroyer coming in towards the B-bomb site. Astro does pick off one. The economy of the CT side is just so bad at this point that Wind and Rain can just throw everything at them, just try and get every weapon out of their hands at this point and make sure that you just got this one in the bike, but it will be one from Astro. Emil Shine will drop Stanley. The main goal here, the crown jewel, is to get rid of that AWP, and well, Alex will do his best to try and make sure his teammate stays alive. Astro might just fall here. Deos with the deagle. There it is. He does it all. 4 kills for Deos in that round. And the 2 early picks, that's enough. And you can see in their camp, they're very, very happy.
Yeah, nice round from Deos, getting all 4 kills to his name. And then, of course, it was Emil Shine in with the other one. Deos was maybe the one of the 2-star players who'd been a little quieter in terms of fragging, but he's turned that up thanks to the last round, and he's getting blocked at the start of this.
See the frustration on his face.
He wants to take more fights on Banana.
Like, hurry up while I've still got this momentum. You kind of feel you just need to keep going and going and going, and well, he has a chance to do so. Molotov comes in, he was expecting the fast peek, the swing on him, but it doesn't quite get done, and so there still is a player in the sandbags. He's looking for the headshot, but the flashbangs are good, and well, fair play to Fierce here. They've done a good job at sort of stopping him from just walking up towards top Banana and getting multiple kills this time.
6 round wins in a row for Wind and Rain to regain the lead here on Inferno. They were 11-6 behind. All of a sudden, they find themselves in the lead and against a low buy. This is looking dangerous for Fierce. They've really found themselves in choppy waters right now. And they're going to have to try and steer this ship back to safety.
Well, they're going the wrong way, Alex. There's 4 players on the A-bomb site. They've gone for that stack. The gamble, it's not going to work out for them. Stanley has to get more than one here. The CZ is in, doesn't even get a single kill. And again, it's job done. It will be 13-11. Certainly looking like Wind and Rain are on the right path to try and 2-0 this team. And well, with this performance, it's hard to see a world in which the grand final will not be competitive, and we can start to maybe really look at Wind and Rain as perhaps the potential champions of the ESL Premiership summer.
Yeah, what a story that would be. After finishing the regular season in 5th place, if they could knock out
the only team here with a negative ratio to wins to losses.
Absolutely insane stuff from Wind and Rain right now. Just looking to hold on to every single gun. Not that it matters that much for them. They've got the money. They just don't want to let their opponents save. And Astro goes straight into the spray of Daddy. Oh, okay. He's nearly killed his teammate. It's all good.
Well,
they can laugh it off.
At this point, when you're winning so many rounds in a row, you just kind of feel happy whatever happens, right? And, well, the campo over at Fierce is not looking too great. I mean, that's always Fry's face. I mean, you can't really read an emotion of a team by looking at Fry, but maybe the other players.
Same again from Deos. Banana pick has been working. He's going for it again. The AWP up on the angle, but this time the Molotovs are doing damage. His teammates could be in trouble.
Well, Wind and Rain have taken a lot of damage on board. Again, following up, but this is quite a significant amount actually coming right through. The only players really that haven't been dropped below half HP are Daddy and Emil Shine, but there's a kill from Astro. Follow-up comes in as well. And it's into a 3v4. The advantage is finally there for Fierce.
A much-needed round for them on this one as well. The smoke is really well placed. I don't think Eccles gets any vision through that. Emil Shine creeping up, spots the gun barrel. There's the opening. Boost is there, so Eccles can get the refrag, and he just needs to buy time.
He has towards the back of the bomb site. He has another smoke. He'll create a wall to hide behind. He just needs to delay so his teammates can get in and help him. As Louty starts to spray away, Eccles still alive, but finally will fall to Daddy. But Stanley, he's here with a kill. Daddy has to step up with a 1v2 clutch. 40 seconds. He has got the bomb in his hands. He wants to get it planted, and he's going to stick it. The rotation coming in. It's a very late one from Alex. But he is over towards this side of the map now. Well, Daddy heads his way towards the back of the bomb site. They're going to go in towards together. There's the kill. Stanley picks it up, and it's Fierce with 12. And really, the man you've got to thank for that is Eccles. Yeah, the one kill he got is enough just to delay.
Yeah, made sure to stay alive. He had his teammate trying to help him with the flashbang to do more damage. Didn't quite get the timing right, but the round win is there for Fierce, finally putting a stop to that win streak that we were talking about on the Wind and Rain side. The problem for Fierce is that it's not like Wind and Rain are going to be saving anytime soon. Their money is excellent, and this time it's a different player. Daddy gets 2 with the AWP. Again, this B-site hold is falling apart for Fierce, and Daddy's not done. He wants more, but he finally falls. It doesn't matter, though. They've got full control of this B-site.
Yeah, Wind and Rain just fast, but Eccles coming right in with a kill. He might get another one as well here. Wow, Eccles just showing them what he can do. Eccles with another, looking through the smoke, but it's Alex who'll take away Ents, and that is just a sheer brilliant play from Eccles.
Look at that reaction from Fierce. They are pumped up off that round win, and that's one of those rounds where it feels like Wind and Rain just too over-eager to fight. They had control of the B site. You don't have to push Ruins there if you don't want to. You can definitely just hold back from Banana, watch towards the bomb, but they decide to just try and close out the round just based off the momentum, just based off the individuals. And again, this AWP trying to find the entry. It's been so successful for them, but the mollies make life awkward, and there is the opening. Louty goes down, and there's no trade.
That kind of play from Eccles in the previous is enough to just lift the spirits of a team completely. When we're talking about Fierce looking perhaps a little bit deflated, that will change that completely. So, Deos, he's looking for this kill. Advantage is still with Fierce, no answer yet from Wind and Rain. And while Eccles hides behind the corner, he has got a teammate taking the open wide fight, and it's Fry continuing to dice them up as Deos is going to try and play with the smoke, but he doesn't get the opportunity to make it happen, so he has to make a big play. And this is ballsy, but if it pays off, it'll certainly be impactful. And there's the first, the second on the Deagle on his own. That is unbelievable.
Deos is destroying the B site. Even with the Deag, he gets it done. The bomb is taking its time, but Deos has got this locked down. He's making sure there's no rotation over towards B. And you can already see that Fierce are playing it so safe, knowing that they're against that AWP on towards this angle. The smoke goes down for CT, and here comes the peek round the corner. Deos waiting patiently. Flashbang doesn't connect, but neither does his shot.
Smoke is across, and Ents does damage to the smoke, nearly picking up the players in behind it. And while Fierce have to make a big decision here, do they want to go for this? The money in the bank is not great. There's the kill for Deos. Stanley has fallen, and Deos might just be the MVP here of Wind and Rain, might just bring them to 14. What a performance it has been in recent rounds from him. Astro and Alex, there's just no time to make this happen, I'm afraid, and Daddy will finish off the last 2 kills. There it is, another round win on the board for Wind and Rain. And well, even the rounds that they lose, it looks competitive. So at this point, I've got to say, I think Wind and Rain are going to take this.
It looks like it. They just cannot stop Deos on those B entries. I feel like we've given him his nickname, Deos the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god, he just keeps on entering that B site round after round. He has had ridiculous impact here on this second half. I think in the first half of Inferno, it probably was Emil Shine doing more of the work for his team. here on the second half. Deos has won them so many rounds single-handedly. And Fierce again, after winning that last round with Eccles having the play, they looked really like they were revitalized, but as soon as you lose a round like that, it kind of brings you back down to earth.
I mean, taking a look at the VTs we seen earlier, going back to that sort of chat that Wind and Rain had, you know, if you're going to trash talk, you have to back it up right, and they've certainly done that. This is definitely a performance that Wind and Rain should be happy about already, and Lauti is going to take the kill on the fry. Early pickup is there, might just find the follow-up as well, and there it is. 2 kills collected, 2-man advantage.
They just can't hold B. They cannot hold B. They cannot figure this one out. They try and go aggressive, they get dealt with. They try and play passive, they also end up falling. It was a weaker buy for Fierce in this round, so they decided to take aggression. They decided maybe the CZ can work up close on Banana. But now that Wind and Rain have got the 2-man advantage, they are in great shape to take map and series point. They've still got to do the dirty work in this round with 3 players up against them. And Deos was thinking about opening up B, but he's going to group up with his teammates as they take control of A long. Good luck, Alex.
Well, headshot comes right through. It's all on Astro, it's all on Stanley. Well, it's just not going to happen for them. It's going to be map and series point for Wind and Rain. It'll be grand final point as well for this side. Everything suggested that they should not even get to this point, but they've done it. And you might just be eliminating the favorites for the entire season, undefeated in regular play. When it reaches the finals here, it seems as though Fierce Esports are just getting outmatched. And we asked the question, can Wind and Rain do what they do online on LAN? And the answer is a resounding yes.
Yeah, even when the pressure is at its highest, Wind and Rain looking excellent. Individuals showing up. They said that they thought they had a big edge in terms of skill. They are showing that edge right now. They are using it to their advantage, and they are proving any doubters wrong right here. Fierce in with their last chance, and this is not the buy you want to be going with when you are on elimination point. Fierce really need a hero right now. MP9, CZs, Desert Eagles, not the weapons they need, but it's the weapons they've got available.
Well, it would be the best storyline I think we've seen in Counter-Strike, even on the biggest levels. If Fierce managed to pull this back and reverse sweep the series, that would be one for the history books. Probably the biggest storyline out of Prem. We'll see if Deos can make his way up towards top middle. He will rattle a shot off towards Boilers. Shows that the AWP has presence towards top middle and will start to make his way back over towards Banana. They're going to recover the bomb. And at this point, I think Wind and Rain are just trying to calculate, trying to set up some sort of play to be their final crunching attack. And it might just be the B fake into an A hit. They haven't bought it yet. They're just going to stay here. They know this is going to be a fake as they come right back in towards the A side. They have not bought this whatsoever, Fierce. And in fact, they're rotating a 4th player over. This is the best chance yet for them as Alex has picked out one, Stanley with another, but Emil shine. It's 3, and he's shining for Wind and Rain as they might just reach the grand final here. It's all on Fry. A 1v3 to save the team, save the favorites of the entire tournament. And they might just be heading home.
Wow, he's got a hell of a lot to do, and it's not made any easier for him. Damage done, nade is there, but it's Emil Shine closing it out with the quad kill, and Wind and Rain upset our #1 team, Fierce. They hadn't lost a single map before today, and boom, they're out.
Fierce wanted to prove that they were the best team in the UK. They can't do that right now. They have just fallen in the semi-final. They wanted to reach the grand final. They wanted to win it without dropping a map, but they lose 2-0 here. We're going to hear the thoughts of the desk right now.